The real reason Smokey Bear was created. Smokey Bear was created on August 9, 1944, because of World War II. Japan considered wildfires as a weapon. Japanese strategy was to drop incendiary bombs on the United States to start a giant forest fire. They hoped that the bombs would ignite the forest and spread to cities, burning homes, factories, and destroy natural resources and sending the American people into panic. They were hoping that the United States would withdraw its forces from the war and go back to their homeland to fight forest fires instead of fighting them. On Wednesday morning, September 9, 1942, a Japanese submarine I-25 surfaced off the coast of Oregon and launched a tiny seaplane, which dropped two 168-pound incendiary bombs on Mount Emily, near Brookings, Oregon. In an unsuccessful attempt to start a major forest fire, this made Mount Emily the first place in the continental United States to be bombed by an enemy aircraft during wartime. The bombs exploded and started a fire, but light winds, wet weather condition and a quick response from fire patrols, the bombing failed to have its desired effect, as did a second bombing raid on September 29, 1942. The Japanese military renewed their wildfire strategy in the war. On November 3, 1944 to April 20, 1945, the Japanese military launched over 9,300 high-altitude balloons bombs into the Pacific jet stream. They each carried 4 incendiary bombs and 1 high-explosive bomb. These unmanned balloons bombs originated from the main Japanese island of Honshu. After being launched, the specially designed hydrogen balloons would ascend to an altitude of 30,000 feet and ride the jet stream across the Pacific Ocean to the mainland United States. Their bombs were triggered to drop after the 3-day journey was complete, hopefully over a city or wooded region that would catch fire. Nearly 350 of the balloons bombs actually made it across the Pacific, and several were intercepted or shot down by the U.S. military. Balloon bombs were found in 18 states, as well as Mexico and Canada. In the end, the balloon bombs caused a total of 6 fatalities, a pregnant woman and 5 children were killed. They were the only Americans to be killed by enemy action during World War II, in the continental United States. While the number of fires achieved was minimal due to less than ideal winter weather conditions in the U.S. If the balloon bombs attack had occurred during the summer fire season in California, and especially during the Santa Ana winds, the result would have been a significantly greater level of physical destruction and a greater negative psychological effect on the U.S. population. Now terrorists are using fire as a weapon of mass destruction, instead of using expensive, complex, and readily detectable nuclear or radiological bombs. Terrorists can easily set multiple fires, creating a firestorm potentially equal to the destructive force of a nuclear weapon, giving the terrorist a weapon with the same effect with a great deal less effort and risk. Using fire as a weapon is inexpensive, and starting fires can be quickly planned, require little to no training and easy to execute, and have a lower risk of detection and apprehension, giving it a strong advantage over other methods of attack. Arson attacks are extremely difficult to prevent. Fires can be set anywhere, anytime, and by anyone. The equipment and materials needed to use fire as a weapon are common and easily obtainable. Anyone can buy a lighter, fireworks, flare gun, flares, gasoline, diesel, and kerosene, without arouse any suspicion. Fires can cause a lot more damage than explosives. When a suicide bomber blows himself up, the threat is over, with few casualties and a small amount of damage, but when a terrorist uses arson attacks, the threat is not over. It can go on for years or until the terrorist gets apprehended or dies of old age. Arson attacks can cause large-scale damage, casualties, economic damage, destroy natural resources, and critical infrastructure, especially the electrical grid, overwhelm firefighting resources, and impact our military forces, create chaos and terrorize the American population, and wide media coverage, capturing world attention. Terrorist groups are calling for Western Muslims to wage war within the United States, urging them to engage in lone wolf attacks, including setting forest fires. On September 11 there were less than 2 million Muslims in the United States, and now there are over 8 million Muslims. It is only a matter of time when a large group of terrorists that live here will simultaneously set hundreds of fires across the entire United States during the peak of fire season, when fire conditions are critical, with dry weather conditions, no rainfall, low humidity, high temperatures, and high winds. Today, both the internet and mass media provide detailed information on the current projected fire danger ratings. The result is an abundance of information enabling a terrorist cell to pre-plan pyro-terror attack against the nation's forests, cities, farmland, and critical infrastructure. The truth is, Islam will never be satisfied until they have taken over the world, ridding it completely of all infidels. We had better wake up. Islam is our enemy. Its ideology is a threat to our way of life. If left unchecked, it will result in the destruction of everything we hold dear. Which one will destroy us first? Islamic terrorist, illegal immigrants, immigration and refugee resettlement programs, or our own entitlement programs? Over time they all will destroy us within, unless we get serious and stop it. You can blame the liberals and Democrats, socialists, politicians, judges, and media for the next terrorist attack. They are using the illegal immigrant, refugee, and Muslims as pawns to destroy our Constitution and our country.